How to use the All About the Bait rigging kit. First off, you need to match up the hook to the size of the bait you're using. I've got three examples. I've got the 10-inch Hobie, I've got a 5-inch paddle tail, and I got about a 2-inch curly tail. So first what we're going to want to do is to match up the hook that we're going to use with each bait. So in this instance, I'm going to lay the hook right along there. I kind of know where I want that hook to set. Plus I want to take a look at the amount of hook gap between the shank and the tip to make sure I have enough clearance there. So in this instance, I'm going to be using a 9/0. For the 5-inch paddle tail, I'm going to go with a 4/0. And for the grub, I'm going to use a 2/0. Next, we're going to want to take a look at the clip-on corkscrew retainers to match it up also with the bait size, in particular the nose of the bait. Okay, remember, you can actually go fairly small with these corkscrews and have no issues with them, but if you go large, then you have a problem with them centering. So stick to the smaller size. In this instance, for the 10-inch Hobie, I'm going to use the large. For the 5-inch paddle tail, I'm going to use the small. And then for the grub, I'm also going to use a small. To attach your clip-on corkscrew retainer, you're basically going to start with the bottom of the corkscrew. You'll see that you have the centering pin side and then the beginning of or the end of the corkscrew there. And all you're going to do is take that beginning of the corkscrew there and insert it into the eye of the hook. And then from there, you're just going to twist it on, just like a corkscrew, till you get to the end, and keep twisting it. Then what I do is I'll grab the base of the corkscrew and keep twisting it until you hear that click. And when you hear that click, then the eye of the hook has the eye of the retainer there, and it's firmly attached. And your rigging kit is ready to be rigged. Now to rig our soft plastic bait, we're going to take our corkscrew retainer, find the nose of the bait, put the centering pin right in the center, and then you could just press it in and start twisting. One of the things that I like to do is, especially if the soft plastics have a kind of a pointy nose to them, is to get a pair of scissors and cut the tip off. And what that does is it creates a sharp, flat base in order to start the corkscrew retainer there. But now that we've got that, we're going to push the centering pin right into the center of the bait, and that'll make sure that the corkscrew tracks straight. Once you've got it touching the corkscrew, you can just start making a couple of turns, trying to keep it as centered as possible. Once you've got it started, then I like to grab the soft plastic and hold the corkscrew and just twist the soft plastic onto the corkscrew. Now, one of the key parts is that you don't have to run the soft plastic all the way to the end of the eye of the retainer there. Okay, giving it a little bit extra room is good. Have a little bit of a play there. Next, you're going to do is you're going to find the bottom of the bait. In the case of these, it has a slit where the hook starts underneath, and that allows that hook to penetrate farther up into the bait when you get a bite. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to twist this eye until it's at a 90-degree angle with the hook so that it's coming straight up from the bottom there. Okay, once we've got that, then I could lay the hook right on the bait, and this will show me the exact exit point in order to keep this straight parallel with the hook shank. So I need basically the output of the sharp point to come out right about there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the belly there in that same spot. I'm going to bend it around so I can get that hook point to go straight through the belly and out straight out the back. Then I can verify by looking on the back side to make sure it's coming out straight out of the bottom. And once it's there, I can basically just push it through. And there we go. It sits perfectly flat and straight, and it's going to track very true. Now the last thing you could do, these baits have kind of a ridge there to protect the tip, to making them somewhat weedless. But if you want to make it totally weedless for sure, to make the point so it can't catch any debris, you could pull forward on the soft plastic, push that nose of the hook into the soft plastics, and then release it, and then it'll basically just embed just into the skin on there, and that makes it truly weedless. Okay, let's rig the 5-inch paddle tail there. So we're going to take the corkscrew retainer, find the centering point there, push it in, start twisting, and then once we've got it centered, we're just going to twist it on. Once we've got it almost to the end there, take a look for the bottom. So we've got a small recession here where the hook tip goes, and then the open bottom there. So we want that hook to be centered there. Oops. Let's find the 90-degree point. Okay. So it's going to sit in that recess. Line up the hook there to find out where we need the exit point to be. Bend the bait so we can get that hook point right through the center. Verify it's going to come out the center there, and then we could push it through. And there we go. That bait is ready to throw. Then for the small one, got a little grub there. Use the 2/0 with the small. Works the same way. Find the center, stick the centering pin, start twisting, get that corkscrew to go straight into the bait. Since there's no really top or bottom, it's not going to really make too much of a difference there. But we can line it up to see where that hook needs to come out. Bend it through, right through the center, and back out again. And that curly tail grub is ready to throw. And that's how to rig a small, medium, and large bait using the All About the Bait rigging kit.